10 best hanging exercises for your abdominals. There are lots of exercises that are focused on isolating only your abdominal area and that's it. Many people like such type of exercises. Many people find them quite torturing and painful. You know, when your abs start burning and you lose your breath. Many people might lose their motivation doing them. That's why I think it is important to do such motions, such exercises that are creative, that are fun to do. Because when you are doing something that is creative, something that you can enjoy, you stop feeling that it is an exercise, that it is a repetition. The reason is that while you are doing some hanging exercises, not only your abdominal area will be engaged in this case, but your entire body. So your mind can't catch up with what is going on. You have to do so many motions and so many muscles have to be involved that you don't even notice the pain, the torture. You just quite enjoy the process. So let's start with the first exercise, knee raises. If you are just getting started, don't worry about lifting your knees very high. Begin with a small range of motion and focus on moving slowly and under control. As you get stronger, gradually increase the height of your knees until they reach hip level or become parallel with your torso. From there, you can continue progressing by raising your knees even higher. The next exercise is what is traditionally known as skin the cat. Interestingly, this motion is done by many children unintentionally. If you have noticed what most of the children are trying to do when they climb up a bar, they are trying to raise their knees and put them between their arms, kind of curling into a ball. Without realizing, they are practicing a great exercise for their core. You can practice this motion in series, and I assure you soon you will feel how your abdominals are burning, because when you go back and forth, your abdominal area is very well engaged. Once you've mastered knee raises, you can now lift your legs straight. So by keeping your legs straight, create a much longer lever, which makes your core work significantly harder. If you're just starting out, you don't have to lift your legs all the way up. Begin by raising them halfway while keeping your knees straight. Focus on slow, controlled repetitions without swinging. So the next natural progression is toes to bar. Of course, your goal is to raise your feet until they touch the bar. This exercise requires not only core strength but also good hamstring flexibility. But if you don't have enough flexibility, there is nothing to be worried about. You can slightly bend your knees while working towards the full movement. But if you want this motion to look beautiful and smooth, you might want to practice pike stretch. This is of course a different topic, but if put simply, don't simply focus on touching your toes, but instead actively engage your lower back and core and try to bring your stomach to your thighs. But if even though you are flexible, but you still can't lift your straight legs all the way up to the bar, there is a great exercise which implies an eccentric motion. This exercise will help you to build your abdominal area and will prepare you for the exercise toes to bar. Another important point that you have to keep in mind is how your upper body has to, in what position it has to be while you lift your legs up, because it doesn't quite stay the same. While you start lifting your legs up, your body has to kind of go a little down while your shoulders lean forward. In this way, you create a certain balance, and it is easier to lift your legs straight up. So you're doing this motion. You're leaning your shoulders forward, your body down, and you lift your legs. Another thing you can do is to give yourself a push from the ground. Then slowly, by and by, try to do the push a little less. So you try to control your movement more and more. The L-sit hold. If you can do leg raises, perhaps you might be able to hold the L-sit for 3 to 4 seconds. The most key important thing in this static exercise, which by the way is the first static exercise shown here, is that you have to bring your legs, straight legs, at roughly 90 degrees angle and hold it as much as you can. Besides just doing many attempts, and with each attempt you can hold it more and more, there are a few exercises that you can practice that will help you and will make the way towards learning the L-sit much more fun and creative. So the first thing that you can do while you are holding the L-sit and you start feeling that your legs go down, that your abs become exhausted, you can bend your knees and continue holding the L-sit but with your knees bent. The next thing you can do is a reverse motion from toes to bar, and you slowly lower your legs till you reach the 90-degree angle. And the last thing that you can do is you can hold a larger angle, a bigger angle, maybe 120 degrees, and then slowly bring your legs more and more up till you reach that level of 90 degree. The next exercise is going to be side to side leg rotations, also known as windshield wipers. This exercise puts more pressure on your obliques, but at the same time it engages all the muscles of your abdominal area. Before attempting to do this exercise, I would suggest you to warm up your lower back. The reason is that these motions from side to side put a lot of pressure on your lower back, and to avoid any injury, it is better for you to first do some twisting motions before attempting to do it. The next exercise is a classic gymnastic movement called the front pullover. What I like about it is that you can do it in series, and it is a really fun and entertaining skill. The only thing you will need to do to be able to perform this skill is to be able to do at least 10 to 12 pull-ups and at least 2 to 3 times the toes to bar exercise. For many people, the hardest part is not concerned with strength, with lifting the legs and pulling oneself up, but the last part when you have to rotate, because usually people are not accustomed to such motions and they feel a little scared. A great way to build confidence is to practice this motion in reverse. If you still find it difficult, you can give yourself a small push from the ground, then you'll definitely be able to perform it. And then you can practice this motion in series. The next exercise is a more simplified form of the back lever. Of course, the back lever is a more advanced skill, but we are not going to do it in its perfect form. So, for this motion, you would definitely need to be able to do skin the cat, which we talked about previously. So how you are going to start to do this motion? Firstly, just as in the skin the cat, put your legs between your arms. You can take a smaller grip. It will be much easier to hold the position. And when you get lower in the bottom position, with your shoulders behind you, start straightening your body. You don't necessarily need to straighten your legs. Just keep your knees bent and hold the position. This motion puts a lot of pressure not only on your abdominal area but also on your chest, on your lower back, on your legs. The German hang shoulder rotation. Now this exercise is not very difficult, but still it is considered more advanced because you need a greater shoulder mobility. So it is very similar to the skin the cat motion, but because you have to rotate your shoulders in the last moment, that's why it is more difficult. So how you are going to start this exercise is, firstly you would take a wider undergrip. Then you put your legs between your arms, and in the bottom position you go lower and lower till the point that you feel you can now turn your shoulders in. So you rotate your shoulders and you do this motion back and forth. You rotate in and out, and soon you will feel how your abs start burning. This exercise is very cool and very great because it not only hits your abs but also it develops your shoulder flexibility. The only thing that I would like here to emphasize is if you can't rotate both of your shoulders, you come to the bottom position and you are as if stuck and you are trying to turn first one shoulder then another, then it means your shoulders are not enough flexible, and you shouldn't do this exercise because it can be very risky for your shoulders to turn one shoulder then another. You have to turn both of your shoulders. So either you take a wider grip, it will be much easier, or you can still practice the skin the cat motion, try to do some exercises for your shoulders, and then you can come back to the German hang shoulder rotation. Number 10 might surprise you, but it's those usual pull-ups. The only thing that I would like to emphasize here is while you perform pull-ups, you are going to lean your shoulders forward just as in the previous exercise with toes to bar. You will lean your shoulders forward and you will look as if up and then pull towards your chest. In this way you are hitting more your core. You are activating much stronger your abdominal area, especially the upper part of your abs. So here we are, 10 best hanging exercises for your abdominal area. If practiced for a period of time, these exercises will build a strong core and you will have a beautiful, well-defined abdominal area. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it proved to be useful, and I will see you in the next video.